All right, welcome students to the Microscope lab. I made this brief video to help you guys navigate the microscope and learn how to use it. The cool thing about this microscope lab, I'll tell you right off the bat, is that the functions operate exactly like a real microscope. And so you're getting a really valuable experience here by learning how to use a real microscope. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you basically how to use the microscope. Make sure you read the instructions for this particular lab. It will ask you to do certain things. It'll ask you to look at certain slides. I'm just kind of doing a general overview. So it'll have you go to learn and to guide. I'm just going to jump right into explore and show you how the microscope works. So as you can see, here's the microscope. It's got all the normal features you would see. It's got the eyepieces. It's got the stage. It's got the lenses. Got everything. And so where you want to start is you want to pick a slide. So slides are the pieces of glass that you put your sample on so you can look at it. So I'm going to pick plant and I'm going to do onion root. That seems simple enough. And now notice on the image the glass slide has appeared. So we're actually looking at a slide, and on that slide are some onion root cells. Okay, now it's out of focus, so we got to focus in on the cells. What you want to do when focusing is you always want to start with the coarse focus. Coarse focus is going to move the lens up and down, or excuse me, it doesn't move the lens up and down, it moves the stage up and down more quickly, and then the fine focus moves it more delicately or more precisely. So I'm going to move this coarse focus until it looks pretty good. And you can even notice how the stage goes up and down when I do that. Notice how the stage goes up and down. Now in a real lab, you wouldn't want to do this. You wouldn't want to wiggle it back so much because you could break something. So you want to go slowly and precisely. That looks pretty good to me. You could also shift the slide back and forth as well. Notice how the stage shifts back and forth as well. All right, now we'll do our fine focus. That looks good. And then we're going to do the light. That looks pretty good to me. Now, we've got a great image of some cells, but we want to zoom in deeper. Now, whenever you change lenses, we're currently on the 4x lens, you always want to go progressively, meaning you always want to go from 4x to 10x to 40 to 100. You never want to jump. You never want to jump from 4x to 40 or 4x all the way to 100. You want to go progressively. And in fact, if I try to do that, it's going to send me a message. It's not going to let me do that because that's the real. You really shouldn't do that in a real microscope. It could break something. So we're going to go to 10x. Notice how the lens moved. It switched. And then we'll focus in again. Focus seems pretty good. Maybe I just make it a little lighter. There you go. Let's go to 40. So same thing. I can't jump. I gotta go to the next one. And this is really good here. I think I'm just gonna increase the brightness. Now the 100x, this lens is actually so close to the glass that it's basically touching. And in fact, since it's touching, you need to add lens oil, right? And that's what these little vials are here. It's adding lens oil. What the lens oil does is because the lens is touching, it's not letting in much light. The oil actually refracts and gets light to come in there so we can actually see better. And so when I click 100x, it's not going to show it to me. It's going to have me add lens oil or immersion oil. So I'll click that. Notice there's like a little puddle right there, a little circle that appeared. And we added lens oil. And so now we can really see this cell. And now if you remember, I can't remember if we've gotten to the different stages of the cell, either mitosis or anaphase, prophase. Looks like this cell is going through something, so we can look around at different cells. This looks like a normal cell. It looks like the cell we're looking at is going through something. All right, now if we want to go backwards, we're going to have to wipe the lens oil off. It's going to say lens paper. You're going to want to use lens paper. These are over here. This is chem wipes. That's good for everything else in the lab, but you don't want to use those for the lens. So we're going to use lens paper and wipe it off. And that is your lab tutorial.